Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for race 10, the final race of the Mature Racing Club Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship Season 10, and the last race is to be held at Circuit de la Sarthe. This is the second race of two half-an-hour races that happen in one night on Friday nights, and like I've already said, this is the final round. So this is actually a reverse grid from the race 9 finishing results. So we'll quickly go through the grid order. Got ADG 123, which is me, in first place in the Honda NSX. Everyone should have picked their second car choice now as well. So Rocky Rich is in second place in the Honda NSX as well. Third is Ajax, and a second little blank there in the Honda. Bale in the Ferrari 458 in fourth. MRC Winkle in fifth in the Honda. Has 91 in 6th in the Ferrari. Ginger Crackhead in the Honda in 7th. 8th is MRC CJW Racing in 8th position in the Honda NSX. Robert the Hood in 9th in the Honda. Mutt in 10th in the Ferrari. And Edwin is coming up the rear in 11th position in the Honda as well. So without much further ado, we'll start from looking back from my position in the pole position at the start of this race. We'll look back to see who gets off the line nicely. Keep an eye on Bale. Bale has a really good start there, jumps from 4th into 3rd into 2nd straight away, so makes up 2 places right away, does Bale on the start. Good start there. Ajax loses out and Rocky Rich loses out 2 positions now. I've already picked up a penalty myself of 2 seconds, so that was the downfall to my race straight away, getting a penalty into the first corner. Don't quite know how I managed it, but there you go. Look back from Rocky Rich to Haz. Winkle diving down the inside with a bit of a late dive, caused a bit of contact on the side of Haz. And Winkle loses out a little bit of pace on the exit there, so now he's running with CJW right behind him. And then behind that we can see Ginger Crackhead, Robos the Hood, who else? Mutt and Edwin, all the fast guys right at the back with the reverse grid start. See Ginger Crackhead dropping back a little bit there into 11th place now. Edwin doing a good job of slipstreaming Mutt and Robos, they're all looking to get through. Bale's son of it going slow. I'm going slow, taking penalties, both me and Bale there, and gives a chance to everyone else to drive past. So I started in first and I'm now down into 10th position in this race, so not a great start from me, not even halfway through the first lap either. But anyway, it's not about me, it's this replay. So we see Robos the Hood up into 7th now. We'll keep an eye on Robos, he always proves to go well in the races. Mutt up into 4th, so a good start from Mutt after finishing 2nd in race 1. So he started right at the back. Winkle in 5th, slipstreaming Mutt as they try and keep as much pace going as possible down the long straight. And looking for the inside line is Rocky Rich on Winkle. Oh, he actually gets hit from behind by Bale Stonovic, so he goes into the side of Winkle. Winkle loses that a little bit, but that's not the fault of Rocky Rich there, so Rocky Rich continues as he rightfully should do. Edwin now up into 8th if we look back. We've got Ajax in 1st, Haz in 2nd, CJW in 3rd, Mutt in 4th, Rocky Rich in 5th, Robosud in 6th, Edwin in 7th, Winkle in 8th, ADG in 9th, Bale Stonovic in 10th, and Ginger Crackhead in 11th now. We'll look back as we see Rocky Rich has gone wide into there, gone deep, and he's ended up in the gravel. Not sure if that was contact or he ended up doing it on his own, but we'll keep an eye on what's going on in front. We've got Winkle and me side by side with Bale Stonovic right behind us, trying to get in between the sandwich, make himself the fill-in. I had to lift a little bit there to avoid going into the side of Bale a little bit, so I lost a little bit of pace through that. And then Bale just dives down the outside to be in the inside for the next corner, gets it all wrong, goes really deep. So Winkle manages to get away with keeping that position as Bale goes massively deep and off, and everyone gets to make up of a position there more or less. Bale unfortunately dropping right to the back after that, right behind Rocky Rich now though, still battling away for 10th place, not lost. Still on lap 1, this lap at De La Sarthe, which is the Le Mans track if you're not aware, is over a 4-minute lap in these cars. So it's a pretty long lap time. So don't expect there to be many laps within this half-an-hour race. You can do the maths yourself if you like. Seawinkle right on the back of Edwin. Oh, and there's a bit of contact as Edwin gets a bit deep into there. Actually helped him out a little bit. Managed to keep Edwin going with some kind of pace at that touch there from Seawinkle. But it just looked like he had a bit of oversteer going on and lost the rear end a bit. And just lost a bit of time, and that's why Seawinkle just drove into the side of him by accident. Nearly going into the back of him on the brakes there as well, Seawinkle, so he had to back out, ended up over the curbs and messed it all up. Edwin actually gets a good run on Mutt on the exit there, out of the last chicane, and comes over the line side by side with Edwin. Mutt and Edwin, sorry. Let's see who wins out through the second corner in the track with this chicane. It's quite a slow, clumsy chicane, but you need to take it slowly so you can get a good exit down here, because this is all pretty fast. And then make sure you get the braking done down at the bottom of the hill here, so you don't go too wide. Nice and clean through here, and then get on the power and a little lift into this corner down here before the long straight, the Mulsanne straight. So a bit of a battle going on up front. Ajax is not in first anymore. CJW is up into first. Has 91, getting past Ajax just about on the inside there, up into second. Ajax not liking that though, so he's looking to get straight back past him by pulling to the inside and trying to get the line into the next corner. Robust the Hood floating about behind these guys as well, just looking for an opportunity if it develops. Oh, Robust actually goes a little bit deep on the brakes, and then hits Has ends up hitting Ajax, and it all kicks off, and it's all got a bit messy through there from those boys. Bit unfortunate to see in the last race actually, but that's racing at the end of the day. Like I've said in previous races, I'm no steward or anything, so I don't really want to comment too much about these kind of events, but a bit unfortunate from those guys there, ended up with contact when technically speaking it wasn't really necessary, but that's with hindsight. Edwin now side by side with Mutt. CJW, we could just saw him go through the chicane in front, so he's got a nice healthy lead now in first place. Mutt getting the job done and puts it into second after running side by side into the braking zone with Edwin, so good job there from Mutt. Ginger Crackhead doing a good job, he's now up into fourth, just slipstreaming again down these long straights. Not particularly the most effective slipstream in the Group 4 cars, but obviously it does help you and it does gain you some time down the straights, but you don't seem to catch that quickly even though you've got the slipstream on the guy in front. So we see Ginger Crackhead trying to get the run now out of there, and he does a good job of it. Oh, and I don't think Mutt realised he was there then, so he's pulled across to take Edwin's slipstream as closely as possible, and he's actually ended up side by side with Ginger Crackhead and whacked into the side of him, probably without realising he was there, and just concentrating so much on Edwin in front. Oh, keep it nice, clean and tidy into there. It's quite hard to break into that corner quite nice and neatly and get the apex hooked up. This is one of the trickier corners on the track, believe it or not. Another really slow, clumsy right-hander, so we see Mutt getting it all kinds of shapes of wrong on the exit there. Massive moment of oversteer, and he actually bins it on the exit, drops into 7th place after that, and he loses another place as we see Has driving past him as he's still struggling to get back up to speed going down the straight. So Has up into 7th, Robust up into 6th, Ginger Crackhead in 5th now, ADG, which is me, up into 4th as you just watch me drift it off the track with some terrible driving through there. Got a bit excited that I was in 4th position all of a sudden, so you see me drop down and now in 8th position. So it's a mixed bag, is this race, all sorts going on, so you could be up there 1 minute and then down there the next. CJW so far proving about the only consistent guy to actually keep it up front. Don't get me wrong, Edwin's doing a good job and so Seawinkle and other people as well, but easy to make a mistake or pick up a penalty, as we see from Robust with a 2-second penalty there at the top. So it's easy to make these mistakes and pick up these time losses here, there and everywhere. We'll just skip through and see what close action's going on. Rocky Rich and Ajax side by side through the last corner. That tight chicane. Rocky Rich dropping into 10th and Ajax in 9th now. Bales Tonovic having his own race right at the back. He's got a 2.4-second penalty as well. So not having the best race. After that lap 1 bit of an incident. So we'll skip up again, catching action. So we've got Mutt right behind Robert the Hood. 2 very good drivers, prove the consistent race after race this season. If you're interested in season 11, I'm sure there will be one, so go check out the Mature Racing Club on Facebook and look out for the announcements for season 11 starting, and you can get yourself involved and get involved in this racing yourself and maybe race against a few of the guys you've been watching. So in 6th now, just slipstreaming Robust. Getting towards his rear bumper towards the end of the straight, but that's no good for a dive down the inside. It was too far back. So just having to follow closely through the tight little tricky corner at the end of a really long straight. So easy to pick up a corner cut penalty through those as well. It's a bit of a bump draft there by the look of it from Mutt. Actually ran into the back of Roberts on purpose rather than trying to get past him right now. Doing the same again. Actually tapping him that little bit. It's a legitimate technique you do see in racing, not so much in GT racing, but I do it myself every now and again. Sometimes it's not the right thing to go for the overtake, so you might as well just hit the guy in front and both go a little bit faster. So we're doing a really good job of following very closely now. He's going to go for it this time surely. No, he's going for the bump draft again. 0.4 of a second penalty there for Robust in front, and we see Ginger Crackhead in 4th as well, his brother. Robust and Ginger Crackhead are brothers. Robust going deep into there though, and going right off exactly what I did into the gravel. A few people have already made that mistake in this race so far, so Robust down into 7th. Managed to get 3rd place in race 9, did Robust. Has in 6th now, making up a position because of that. Mutt just gets to have a bit of a different race on his own without Robust now, and Seawinkle finds himself getting chased down. It looks like Seawinkle might have made a little bit of a mistake, because I don't think they were quite this close a moment ago. So Ginger Crackhead's right on the back of Seawinkle now, challenging for the last step of the podium, 3rd place. We'll keep an eye on that. If there's not a lot else going on, we've got Rocky Rich and Ajax still having a battle towards the back. Bales Tonovic on his own. I think I've actually left the race. I actually, if I'm completely honest, I kind of rage quitted, but I was so tired I just couldn't really be bothered, and I've enjoyed the whole championship, so it's a real shame to be. I just had a really long day at work, and woke up at 6 basically, and didn't get back from work till 8 at night, and I'd had a few pints as well afterwards, so didn't do me any favours, and I ended up having a horrific race, so I just ended up quitting out of pure frustration and tiredness. I wasn't enjoying it, and I should have been enjoying it, so I thought better of it. Anyway, Seawinkle still doing a good job on the back of Ginger Crackhead. Crackhead's got to lose that little bit of a penalty at some point, so he might just have to let Seawinkle pass losing that penalty when he does get rid of it. There is meant to be a rule in MRC, I know it's not enforced massively hard, but there is meant to be a penalty system, well, should I say a way of losing your penalties that's all agreed on, which is losing it down the next straight, but not everyone always conforms to that. As we see him picking up a 0.5 second penalty on top of his 0.2 second to make it 0.7. Now Ginger Crackhead in front. So 3rd and 4th are incredibly close, but Apart from that, this track, unfortunately, it doesn't provide the best of racing at all times. So we'll stick with that battle, even though I might end up watching it for most of the race. We'll just keep checking in on the other guys as well, but at the moment it's the best of the action. I had this fear about this this replay, that there wasn't going to be that much to talk about, because the track's so long it can get very spread out between the guys. A lot of people are in the Honda NSX for this race as well, so although you get a slipstream down the long straights, the cars are incredibly close together because there's the same car basically, with the same setup, so it's not a massive advantage having the slipstream, although it does gain you that little bit of time, as I've already mentioned, but it's not a massive pull, as we can see Winkle there. It does gain slowly but surely on Ginger Crackhead, but it's not enough to just like slingshot him past down the inside. You've still got to do it on the brakes into the next corner. Unfortunately, it doesn't manage it, so Ginger Crackhead retains his third place with a decent line through there to just cut off Seawinkle. Seawinkle seems to have had a better season as this season's gone on. He seems to have got better and better in these races and had better and better results as it's gone on. And we've visited various different tracks. So hard on the brakes into here. It's one corner you do not want to go deep on, as we've already seen from a couple of the guys. We're on lap 4 now, that's all we're on. And we're 15 minutes into the race, so halfway through. If we look back, there's quite the gap to muck now behind. And that's the beauty of slipstreaming. It looks like Seawinkle could actually probably get past Ginger Crackhead here, but I think he's just using the tactics of sitting in behind Ginger Crackhead because he's quite quick, keeping in his slipstream, and then actually just catching up the guy in second place together, rather than forcing each other to defend and diving down the inside every corner. It's just a faster way of catching the guys in front. If you work together to try and catch second place, you're gonna get there faster. It looks like that's what's going on to me. Again, Seawinkle could have gone for more of an aggressive stance through there, but chose to just back off and leave Ginger Crackhead in front, sticking that slipstream again. Probably does lose that little bit of downforce through these tight twisty bits though, following Ginger Crackhead so closely, but Ginger makes a mistake, touches on the grass by the look of it on turning, and then just loses the rear end, which is really easy to do on some of these corners, so I feel for him there. Ginger Crackhead having a really good race, and one tiny little mistake like that and he's found himself going round on his own. So Mutt up into 4th, Has into 5th now, Robus is up into 6th, and he's got Ginger Crackhead in 7th behind him now. So Robus is right on the back of Has as we check out these guys now in 6th and 7th, 5th and 6th, sorry. Robus has still got a 0.8 second penalty if we look at the top there. Has with no penalty at all. So the advantage is in Hazard's favour at the moment, depending on where and how Robus depends. Big spin there from Haz as he just goes wide on the exit of that corner. Gets a massive rear tyre full of grass and ends up getting loads of oversteer, spinning it round, and Robus did well to avoid it there, even though he ended up ghosting eventually. So Robus now making a position up because of that. Unfortunate there for Haz, but Robus up into 5th, and Ginger Crackhead makes a position as well up into 6th. Haz down into 7th after that one. To be fair, Haz did well not to lose more time really then. He was just in front of Robus, so he's not that far behind after that big incident. so he's done quite well at getting on with it straight after it's happened and not worrying too much, not lost too much time. Could have been worse, put it that way. Rocky Rich in 8th, having a decent race this time around, Rocky Rich. And Ajax in 9th, finds himself at the back. Now Bales, Tonovic and myself have both left the race. So let's check in with CJW, change up the camera angle as well. I've been on that camera pretty much the whole race so far, which is a bit boring. So CJW doing a grand job out there on his own in first place. Edwin in second, started towards the, well, he started right at the back did Edwin, so he's having a really good race, come through the field quite quickly towards the beginning of the race, the first couple of laps, and managed to get up there and finds himself in second now. Seawinkle in third, good race from Seawinkle, good solid race so far. Mutt in fourth, same again for Mutt, good solid race, few little incidents here and there. Roberts is struggling a little bit on this one, it looks like, in fifth. Has 91 in 6th, and as we can see, Ginger Crackhead coming out of the gravel there as he's gone deep into that corner and ended up having a bit of a poo pants moment, but got it going again and he's in 7th still. Rocky Rich too far back to capitalise on that mistake from Ginger Crackhead and Serge Ajax. So again, we'll look for the closest action and we'll try and watch that. Hopefully it won't be the same guys again, so it gives us a bit of variation for who we're watching. Looks like Seawinkle and Mutt, to be fair, but there's still a bit of a gap between these guys, so it is all getting a bit spread out now with 10 minutes left. I say it in pretty much every race, but I'm going to say again, thank you very much for everyone that turns up every week. It makes it what it is, and everyone seems like they're perfectly competent at racing, and that makes it a good championship at the end of the day, good competitive, and you've got to put in a bit of practice to get anything out of it. So yeah, good, another good championship held by the Mature Racing Club with some really good players to race against. Looking forward to season 11 already. Hopefully I'll see a few of you guys in the same league as me. I know there's a few promotions going on, so it won't be quite the same field that we've got now in season 11, but it might be somewhat similar if everyone that was involved this season sticks with it. So Mutt trying his best to catch Seawinkle, but it looks like Seawinkle's got away now. He's pulled a nice gap and broken the slipstream quite well. It might take a bit more time on board with someone. Where's the onboard camera? There we go. Skipping through, looking for action, sorry. There's not a lot going on now, so we'll just stick with CJW, sorry, for a bit of this lap and see how he goes through these corners, seeing as though he's in first place. And on lap 4 he's done the fastest lap of the race of anyone with a 4:04.099, which is quite a quick time. There's a couple of guys going quicker out there, but in practice that is. It's the quickest time in the race so far as that, so he's doing a good job. Up at the top of the gear range now in 6th, getting up to 166 mile an hour, top of the revs in 6th, and then into the braking zone through the chicane and back out as nice and neat and tidily as possible. He's dropped a little bit of time on this lap, so he's 0.8 down on his fastest lap so far, or should I say, yeah, fastest lap so far. So looking to spot the braking point early, just as he cuts over that curve on the right hand side. He starts hitting the brakes, gets it done nice and gently, not putting too much strain on the brakes and risking going deep, and gets a good exit. It's a good lap so far from what we've seen. I know we haven't seen every corner, but so far from CJW. Up into 6th again. A lot of this track is flat out and very fast, so getting over 160 mile an hour again if you look at the bottom. Up to 167 this time round before he turns in for the fast right-hander. On the brakes again, nice and gently down the gears, plenty of time, he gives himself to do it, but at the same time not braking early. And then nice early on the brakes this time round for this corner, just to make sure he comes out nice and tidily. Good exit, powers out in second very well, and away he goes. Anyway, I don't want to cover too much and lose everyone else's race. Good half a lap there, watch from CJW's perspective though. As you can see, that's probably why he was in first place. Nice and clean, no mistakes, not giving himself any issues with the braking, just getting it done quite early in a way, but nice and controlled at the same time. Skipping through, we've got Ginger Crackhead in 6th, Robust in 7th now, so Ginger Crackhead's actually got past his brother, up into 6th place. Robert's having a bit of a bad race this time round on this track. Probably his worst race of the season so far, and in fact we see him go into the gravel pit there, so a bit unfortunate there for Robert, having a bit of a mare. But it does happen, everyone has the bad races, including myself, quite often. So Haz looks like he's actually getting caught by Ginger Crackheads. Bit of a gap between them, but can see each other on track. It's not that much distance between the guys. Got Seawinkle, he's dropped right off the back of Edwin now. In fact, was it the other way around before? Was Edwin in third and Seawinkle was in second? I can't remember now. It's a problem with commentary. You say that much, it's hard to remember what you've said. Oh, caught Edwin in second there, having a big moment, but a nice catch at the same time. Just kept it going nicely. Could have been a lot worse that. So good job of getting the oversteer caught straight away and sorted out. That could have been nasty. Probably give Seawinkle a little the opinion that he's catching him slightly because of that as well, so it'll spur him on that little bit. Probably looks like to him that he's a little bit closer to Edwin. Good view of everyone's livery down the straight as we power down the Mulsanne straight. We've got Ginger Crackhead not too far behind Haz now. Getting a nice view of Haz's livery, and again Ginger Crackhead in the Honda. Must be into his gardening, Ginger Crackhead, with that little leaf on the back of his car. Think of him as like a Charlie Dimmock kind of character. I'll be honest, it hasn't been the most exciting replay to commentate over, but it's still been good to watch the last race of the season back and have some kind of perspective of what went on up front. I was pretty much in bed by this point already after quitting earlier on. So apologies for the lack of action, but that is down to half of the people that will end up watching this. Blame yourselves. Again, I can't really make it exciting if there's nothing really going on. I'm not that good at commentating. I'm not good at it at all, but I'll give it my best shot. So what we can do, I suppose, compare lap times. CJW in first, like we've already said, has done a 4:04.799 as his fastest lap. So if we look at everyone else's fastest laps, on lap 4 as well. Edwin with a 4:06.494, so about 2 seconds slower. 4:06 again, 0.9 from Seawinkle. 4:08.286 from Mutt. 4:10.486 from Haz. As we see Haz and Ginger Crackhead really close now. So let's keep an eye on this. Ginger Crackhead with a 4:08.120 on the last lap, so he's definitely caught, should I say. He's taken 2 seconds out of Haz on the last lap, so he's definitely faster in the Honda compared to the Ferrari around here at the moment. Oh, a bit of contact there it looked like. Accidental of course, but just close racing that got a bit misjudged. We've got Robust with a 4:09.023, Ajax with a 4:12.827, and then Rocky Rich with a 4:16.378. So Rocky Rich quite slow, but he's on the back of Ajax still, so not too bad. Still having a race, there's still something going on for him. Anyway, back to this little battle. Ginger Crackhead right on the back of Haz again, as they come over the start-finish line for the last lap, lap 8. So although, like I've said, it hasn't been the most exciting races, it has gone pretty quickly actually. That's been a bit of action to commentate on. So now it's flashing at the top last lap. Hazel, if you didn't know already, he'll have seen that, and he'll be panicking about Ginger Crackhead getting past him on the last lap, so he'll try and defend the best he can as they run onto the long straight side by side through this flat out corner onto the long straight now. Side by side as they have pretty much equal speed by the look of it. The Ferrari just about at the top end actually just pulling in front, and Haz just managing to keep it actually. The top end speed of that Ferrari at the end of the straight just making that a little bit of difference. And then he was able to just brake where he probably normally would, but he was far enough in front of Ginger to make it work. Ginger's still battling away though. He's trying to get back past, and he has done at the moment. He's up into 5th. Just managed to get his bumper in front of Haz at the moment, but Haz has got the inside line for this next chicane. Through the first part of it, that is. Let's see what happens here. This could be interesting. Haz on the inside, Ginger on the outside. Good, clean, close racing into there, and Ginger actually manages to get past up into 5th. Good job. Haz trying to avoid any kind of contact. Well, both of the drivers doing a good job there. But Haz losing out and drops into 6th place on the last lap, so that'll be slightly annoying for him. We're still sat in Hazard's slipstream, Ginger Crackhead's slipstream should I say, so having a 10 back. Still a few long straights to go on this track before the end of the lap. He needs to come out of here nice and good, nice and clean and fast as Haz to manage to get a run down here. Don't look like he's got that much of a run on him. Just sat behind him in the slipstream, but it does look like he's a bit of a distance behind. Let's see what happens into here now. Probably one of the better opportunities before the end of the lap to overtake down here. See Ginger Crackhead on the outside, doing a good job actually. Ginger Crackhead in 5th. Haz in 6th still. Haz did have a little chance there, but just would have been too risky to make a late dive there. Anyway, we'll go and skip up to the guys in front. We've got CJW coming through pretty much the last chicane now. Yep, on the start finish straight as he comes over the line in 1st place. Brilliant race from CJW and well deserved victory there. Well done, congratulations mate. Edwin in 2nd with a really good result as well. Yet again, really good championship from Edwin. good consistent results all the way through. Good to see him come home in second, well-deserved podium position in the last race. Seawinkle coming through the last couple of corners now, last chicane as he comes through in third place, doing a really good job and good consistent results again from Seawinkle. Mutt right behind him in fourth place, good race there from Mutt. And Ginger Crackheads, he's had quite the battle this race in one way or another, and finds himself in fifth as he comes through the last chicane. Nice and tidily done to come over the start and finish in fifth, with Haz right behind him in sixth and Robus in seventh. So Ajax has already finished in eighth and Rocky Rich in ninth. Bales, Tonovic and myself, ADG 123, both dropped out. So watch Robus come over the line in seventh now. But that's the end of the race and the end of the championship. So really good job from everyone. And I'll quickly jump on my phone and read out the actual championship finishing positions. Otherwise, feel a bit bad for not actually reading it out. So at the end of the season, Robus the Hood was in first place. He ended up winning the championship, so really good job from Robus as we see him finish up this race in seventh, but it didn't matter that he didn't have the best result. His brother Ginger Crackhead was in second. CJW was in third in the championship. Edwin finished in fourth, and those four guys will get promoted next season, so they'll go up into League 2. And then Mutt 36 finished in fifth, just missed out on promotion. Seawinkle finished in sixth. ADG 123, which is me, finished in seventh in the championship. Haz was eighth in the championship overall. Bales Tonovic finished ninth in the championship. Ajax was 10th. Rocky Rich finished joint 12th, maybe. There's no 11th, so I'm guessing joint 12th or joint 11th in in the championship. That's confused me a little bit. Mini 975, which dropped out mid-season really, finished 13th in the championship, and then MacGyver 37, which I never actually really saw race, finished 14th. So again, I'll just say again, congratulations to Robus the Hood and Ricky and CJW and Edwin for their top 4 positions in the championship. And the end of the day, after 10 races, you did really well and good consistent racing to do that. So congratulations. Anyway, I'm going to leave it pretty much at that. If you want to join me for another season, feel free to subscribe, and that way you'll get my videos and notifications when I put up a new video for other races. And hopefully you will do, and I'll see you again soon. If you've enjoyed this as well, why not give it a like? See you again soon, hopefully, and join me for season 11. I'll be doing exactly the same again, probably. Take care and adios.